So now we're going to Decathlon. Just look at this place. It's huge. Such a big place. We've got running, we've got walking, and then we have the bicycles, all the mountaineering bikes, everything. Look at the collection. Finally found what we were looking for. The ski masks. This is just a headband. I want the mask type. Trying on the ski gloves. Thermally insulated. Love it. I believe there should be a fastening system here somewhere. The biggest fan that I've seen in my life.
Requesting Krishnandu to manage layout. Krishnandu to manage layout. Thank you.
I feel like if you put in water, then it's gonna be heavy, right?
এটা সামনে নিতে পারবি না তুই
সামনেই নেই
সামনে ভীষণ এটা এরকম চোখ হয়ে থাকবে
No, it's fine.
না নিচে নেমে যাবে ওটা জল বলে নিচে নামবে
So we're mostly done with our shopping. What we have picked up is ski socks, a nice neck warmer. This is fleece, very warm, and we have picked up basic ski gloves. And that's Rishi is trying a scooter. He's up to his usual antics. No helmet as usual. So this is really warm, thermally insulated. These are not biking gloves, but I'm carrying them just in case my usual gloves fail. I'll have this. These are very lightweight and has a nice grippy surface on the inside. So I think this is gonna be a lifesaver when the temperature drops. That's it. It's very cheap. These are overall I think under 1,000 for everything together. Maybe even 600, 700. I don't know. But we just for all this thing. And for the hydration, you already saw me trying out those. Those are really nice, but currently don't have the budget, so I'm settling for this, which is very nice. Actually, it's a waist belt, and it's gonna have half a liter of water in there. Sufficient. I'm gonna have something else extra in the tail pack, so I think this will be good enough. So we're finally out, we're done with the shopping, we've got everything that we needed, and I do feel a little relief. Now I don't feel so underprepared, and of course he's getting worried because he has to always get home early. I don't know if you've known the backstory on that, but
we'll catch up with that on another vlog.
Yeah, I'll not discuss it today.
and close.
Enough with all the suspense on Instagram stories and Facebook. Where are you going?
Royal Enfield does this ride every year called the Himalayan Odyssey, and this year I believe it's the 20th year, and they're taking 50 men and 20 women on an expedition of sorts, and we are going from Delhi to Ladakh. So yes, the curtains are off. That's where we're going.
Wow man, congratulations. So which bike are you taking?
I've asked for the Himalayan, and Royal Enfield has assured me that that's the motorcycle we'll be getting. I think for our riding conditions that bike will be most apt, and especially in the hard riding conditions like where you don't have such good roads, that bike will come really handy.
And luggage, you carrying something?
Yes, obviously we are carrying a lot of luggage, but fortunately we'll have a backup car, so we don't have to worry too much about saddlebags. Most of our luggage will be in the cars. I'm taking a tail pack which is going to be housing some water and my tripod and some other small essentials. My shooting gear, like my filming gear or the Lumix camera and the GoPros, obviously going to be in my Manfrotto backpack, which is always waterproof, and I'll be always having that backpack on my back. And that's how I prefer to carry my gear.
And Ladakh is a very hostile place. What gears are you wearing?
Yeah, usually I like to prepare for a ride like this for a month or so, but this time I got the mail only middle of last week, so there is no option for me to get that gear out of Danisi factory, and
you import it out of Italy?
Yeah, that's what I do, but this time I don't have the time to do that, so I tried contacting them. Let's see what happens, but as of now I'll be wearing my normal jacket, and it's not waterproof, so I have bought a Mototech over jacket, which is like a fully rainproof jacket, but it doesn't have any zippers. Through the zippers, water kind of seeps in if you're facing hard rains or heavy rains. So that's what this jacket's capable of doing. It's not breathable, so if you can afford it, if you do have the time, do get a waterproof jacket from T-Dry liner or a Gore-Tex liner, which is going to evaporate the sweat and still give you waterproof and windproof thing. So that'll be more comfortable for you. That's what I recommend. For pants, the same thing, Gore-Tex pants, which is going to be waterproof as well as breathable. Breathable is very important, remember that. For boots, the same thing. I prefer having higher boots because in Ladakh, you've probably seen in the videos that there's a lot of streams where the entire boot gets submerged in the water, and what happens is that if you're wearing a short boot, from the top water will seep in, so that's not gonna work for me, especially in that cold. So having full boots is a good thing. I have a Dainese race boot which is non-perforated, and luckily it is waterproof, so I'll be wearing that. For pants, I don't have riding pants, so I'll be just wearing jeans, and over that I'll wear standard rainproof trousers and leg protectors over that. For the jacket, let's see.
Okay, and you're going to Ladakh. It's a beautiful destination. How do you...
I forgot to add that there's one thing that we obviously missed is the gloves. Obviously has to be rainproof, and it has to be again Gore-Tex and thermally insulated for a place like Ladakh. Another big thing is, like, if you're having helmets, having a sun visor inside the helmet will help. But if you're not having spectacles like us, you can probably use polarized sunglasses, which is always better, and it cuts out the glare, which will be really useful, and your eyes will be a lot better. So that's most about the gear. Any full face helmet, but prefer getting something branded like the Dainese AGV ones, or maybe even some other brands. I don't mind that. Obviously I'll be using my back protector for added safety.
And how do you propose to film it?
We have some ideas in mind. Will be probably not better to disclose it right now.
So you won't tell us the equipment that you're going to be using and things like that?
Equipment I can tell you, because I already know that I'm carrying the Lumix FZ1000, which is my vlogging camera, out of which we're shooting right now. And apart from this, we have the trusty GoPro Hero 4 Black. That's going to be my primary helmet cam. Thanks for lending me your GoPro Hero 3 Plus Silver and the GoPro Hero Basic, which is going to be our two backup cams. So 4 cams here. I've recently received DI-T5E from GearBest. Thanks for GearBest for sending it to us. It's the only cam which we have currently which has a screen on the back, so that can be very useful for setting up a quick time-lapse shot, and also as a backup camera in case every battery dies. For the batteries, yes, we're carrying probably 7, 8, 9, I don't know, probably 9 or 10 batteries. Also carrying a lot of SD cards, probably 300 GBs of SD cards, and the Lumix has a 64 gigs. Every action camera has a 32 gig, and we're also carrying a zoom recorder for getting good audio in places where there's a lot of wind noise or crisp audio. We have to sync that audio in post. Gimbal for the GoPro for getting stable shots in case we need some cinematics or other stuff. That's mostly it. 5 cameras, a couple of gimbals, a lot of SD cards and batteries, and then accessories, mounts of all the GoPros. So it keeps on going.
Okay, so Ladakh needs a lot of preparation for your motorcycle. You'll be riding the Himalayan. What kind of modifications do you plan to make to it?
Since we'll be getting the bike from the brand itself, we don't have the control over the modifications, and since we'll also have a backup car, we don't need all the mods because our fuel and luggage is already taken care of. But for people who are moving on their own, I do recommend getting a nice luggage rack on the back of the bike for the fuel as well as for the saddlebags, because in Ladakh you'll run out of fuel a lot of times, and most people know that. So that's the first modification. The second modification is obviously if you're taking a bike like the Duke, a lot of people ditch the Metzelas for something like the Seats Vertigo or something like that, which is the off-road tires. I don't remember the name currently, but from my brothers who have done Ladakh before and from experienced bikers, I've heard that better than Metzelas in those conditions. It's not a high-speed tire. Don't expect the high-speed stability while you're doing the Delhi to Srinagar or probably that sort of highway ride. You won't be able to do the top speeds, but for when you hit the bad conditions, those tires will come in really handy. And saddlebags is, of course, everyone takes them. Somebody also prefers having a tail pack. I personally prefer having a tail pack as well. For your backpack, keep it as light as possible. Hydration packs on your backpack will be also very nice. And something which people seem to miss here is there's something called a heated grips. You can fix it to any bike. It's about $60 or around 4,000 rupees. And if you attach that to your bike, you will really love it. Some of them are USB heated, like so you can go out of your phone charger. Some of them are directly connected to your battery. So if you install the heated grips, that's a really luxury feature for anywhere else in India, but I feel in Ladakh that will be like a necessity. And if your hands are working fine, it is much easier to ride the bike in those conditions. Remember, hands do get the fastest frostbites, and I've already talked about the Gore-Tex lined thermally insulated gloves, but even that is sometimes not enough in the colds of Ladakh. So heated grips is a must. I don't think I'll have them, so I'll just have to work with what I have, and that's it, I guess. The weather is nice, isn't it?
Yes, the weather is beautiful, very apt for a long drive, but again we're doing a vlog, so yes, I mean, by driving and vlogging, it's kind of a new experience for me, and I'm just loving it.
So Rishi has been really patient, and he's been driving all the time. Usually he plays music, but he cannot do that because we'll get a copyright strike, and he's been patiently waiting as we have been doing take after take after take. The camera's acting really weird. Sometimes it's stopping recording. It's never happened. I hope it doesn't happen on the trip. And I think we've almost reached there. So let's go.